Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting, riveting, and amazing Propagandacast from your host, Imperial Dane, the one, the only master of propaganda, your lord and master. Off here to a 1v1 on Faymonville Approach in the north. It is Tonkatsu fighting for the Red Army, the Soviet Union, Comrade Stalin. Here with counterattack, armored assault, and it's counterattack. It's definitely not got motor. Huzzah! Which features K1 heavy tanks, shock troopers, recon aeroflight, for Mother Russia, and the B4 Howitzers in the southeast. It is expensive runner fighting for the Oberkommand West Germany, Deutschland. Here with the 1st Panzer Division featuring the 221, emergency repairs, Panzer Commander, heat shells, and Sturmtiger. With the Volksgrenadier Kuhwagen here, we got double comps there for Tonkatsu. So far, standard stuff here. And as always, a big hearty thanks to my Patreon supporters, these champions and heroes of the Propagandacast, who support the Propagandacast through thick and thin. You too can join the ranks by pledging on Patreon and become one of these immortal heroes. Links in the video description. You can also donate via PayPal. You can comment, like, share, and subscribe, all that. Get this video to as many people as possible. Or, and of course, crucially, not do what Basil do, which is savagely attacking my hand. Anyways, 3rd conscript on their way there for Tonkatsu skirmishes to the south side. The Kuhwagen takes on half the Soviet army. In the north here, we got the Sturmtiger heading up northwards. We've got the Volksbase in the centre. And Basil is busy with my hand. So here, 2nd Panzergrenadier Company pushing forward here against the 3rd Motorised Rifle Company there. Up north here, we've got the Sturmtiger as the conscripts. Basil does not let up the assault on my hand. Got the conscript pushed back in the north. In the centre, got the Volksbase with the sandbags. Basil lunges again. In this case, I'm very much aided by wearing a sweater. So yes, sweaters are good, people. Wear them. Trot on the way there for expense runner. None of you squat there for Tonkatsu. I mean, so far standard builds there. You can see that the early track here for the 2-1 here for expense runner versus Tonkatsu. Basil keeps up. Holy smokes, he is relentless. And my hand is so far perfectly safe, though the sweater is also remarkably handling it well. 2-1 away there for expense runner. Folks going for the fuel point. Then we got Tonkatsu launching a counterattack. The conscripts quickly falling towards heavy cover. They're not able to finish the sandbags. Very wise decision. Gonna need a Beinhunt gun, I think, to help deal with it. There we go. No, well, he threw it with the one further away. This is the front line could get more shots in. Truck moving forward. So bold move there. Looks like it's going to try and disrupt the third formation without north. He just got the point. Half the map being seized there by expense runner. As the fighting continues, Basil really going at it. I think he's decided that the sweater is in the way and is just trying to destroy the sweater through savage attacks, clawing and biting the sweater. 2-1 out there for expense runner and the German army. Folks, they're firing at the advancing engineers. Up north here, fresh push there by Tonkatsu, slowly moving towards the shock troopers there. If the activity goes for them, we shall see. 2-1 charging engineers here back. Oh, we got flames on the way, but they may not be able to utilize this. The 2-1 is just murdering them with its machine gun there, mounted on top, unleashing hell upon the Soviet infantry. And Basil just refuses to stop. He's been at it for like, a couple of minutes now, and he's just lost none of it. Sturmtiger and engineers there. That city's probably going to pull them back. Cool, until it got fixed up a bit. Meanwhile, the assault on the south continues here. Slow moving forward here. Not a lot of defense here for expense runner to slow down this attack. This obviously works out well for expense runner, particularly the armored car. Tonkatsu, I believe, is, if not taking up, they should be taking up soon. With that said, the consistent beating of expense runners being very tough here. Constantly taking heavy casualties against they push out into the open here. Truck is yet to set up, could set for the battle group headquarters or mechanized regiment here soon. He does like the mechanized regiment. Basil, it seems like, has called it a draw for now against my sweater. No, Basil, the black cat does not always triumph. That's the last time you get to watch Monty Python 2. Anyways, we got the Kuhwagen there versus the conscripts. Push that back up at the Volksgrenadiers. So yeah, trucks still standing about. Team medical supplies down there for expense runner. Cheaton continues advancing north. Still no sign of tech there, or any sign of, say, shock troopers. Mines down there from Tonkatsu armored car. They did suffer some engine damage. Slowly falling back there. The 221 was one of the first armored cars in German army in service. But there was taking an earlier one, I think it was the 213 or something like that. Which kind of looked like the M3A1 actually, scout car. But later it would be steadily replaced by heavier armoured cars, so 250 half-tracks being converted into armoured cars because the 221, 222 and 223 just weren't particularly good armoured cars when it came to like any off-road conditions, which for an armoured reconnaissance vehicle is actually important it can operate off-roads. Mines here though from Tonkatsu, mechanised ring there for expense runner. He's being pushed back here with the Kugelwagen. Tonkatsu on the assault, they could go for the shock trooper squad now here, equipped with the PPSH-41 submachine gun. So far, no sign of that. We got mines going off here. Definitely a great way to slow down any German assault, buy more time for the defenders to get into position. So we'll have to see though what Tonkatsu is planning, but I'm guessing they're not shock troopers. Which I imagine expense runner to some degree is relieved about. But there you go. Contact squad wipe. That's a great kill here by way for expense runner. Definitely a stinging blow there to Tonkatsu and that army. The 221 pushing forward here. Closing in a bit too swiftly. We got tech there in the base. We got more mines going off here. Again, good work mining. And the ironic part, of course, is the Sturm Pioneers who hit it with a mines where they were not out there, of course. Kugelwagen's about to go down. A tiny victory for Tonkatsu against the German army here. If they can finish it off, they're apparently most of the shots getting bounced. There we go. Finally got it. Mechanized regiment right about down there for expense runner. Tank command being rushed out here for Tonkatsu and the army. Engineers getting hard to work on that one. Very good work there, but no sign of shock troopers. We got the engineers busy there still. So, fairly lightly defended front line so far for Tonkatsu versus expense runner. The armored car continues to be an excellent investment here for expense runner. Closing on Betsy 2 as well soon, which gives it a further accuracy bonus, which of course means it's more lethal to enemy infantry. No sign of anything there. Could be the looks, but could also be the Puma here, obviously. Going for a half-track here, Mr. Tonkatsu. And the M5 half-track. Supplied through American Lend-Lease to the Soviet Army. Fun fact, the Soviet Army primarily used the half-tracks for logistics. They actually did not, like, you know, mechanize the infantry using them. They simply logistically needed them more because they just couldn't get enough trucks and all that, so they actually utilized the half-tracks to transport troops to the, you know, where they needed, but they didn't really see like any direct combat, I believe, most of the time. So, little fun fact there. Shock troopers out here for Tonkatsu. We do get some here, some Sturmoviks, as they're also known. Soviet assault engineers. Equipped with the rather iconic PPSH-41 submachine gun. With the, of course, iconic drum magazine, though. By 1944-45, they really weren't using those. It was switched over to the stick or box magazine there, which was easier to manufacture and also much more reliable, as the drum magazine had numerous issues in terms of reliability, partly due to the spring, which couldn't handle all the ammunition, but also just like having multiple magazines that could fit to the same submachine gun was also an issue. So they kind of switched to a smaller, but, you know, again, overall better magazine. Shock troopers pushing the Volkskrieger here by the southern field point. Then we got a grenade off there, quickly pushing back here. Expense runners Volkskrieger. Fun fact, the Germans captured millions of them, and they actually used millions of them as well. In fact, they even converted, I think, 1 to 2 million PPH-41s using 9mm Parabellum. That is the ammunition used for German submachine guns. So, little fun fact there. And it was, I believe, a prized weapon from Eastern Front veterans. Got the contrast of the Fulton in the west. T-70 halfway done here. Going to take some losses there. Yeah, Puma's definitely going to be a threat to the T-70. It's going to definitely make things tougher there for Tonkatsu. Based off the overall 234 armored car chassis, heavy armored car chassis. Used engaged. Easy targets here for the Puma, obviously. Up north, the shock troopers have just been pushed back with the 221, which has been upgraded to the 223, which is also the command version of the armored car. Here we got contact pushing up against the MD-34, Volkskrieger tank from the south towards the fuel point there. Engineers right in the center, quick see another RP and Tonkatsu from expense run, and there we go. Lands the kill. T-70 falls there. He may have to consider, like, you know, some field guns. In fact, he's going to have to consider that. That one... Sis gun? Oh, sis gun, I mean the H6. But he's never going to get something that can more significantly threaten the Puma. He's also just really short on units overall here versus the Expansion Runner. Let's say if we can deal with the Puma early on, or like, you know, somehow play around it, there's certainly a chance if Expansion Runner pull a Cheese and Catapult game around Expansion Runner. We'll have to see what happens here. North the point makes use there by Expansion Runner's full Scanadira. Shocked was the move again. Puma forward going for the T-70. Shoots a good hit there with its 50mm gun. Shocked was catching the force in their course. You can see the submachine guns are incredibly potent here. The PPH-41 has a very high rate of fire for a submachine gun and could easily tear for infantry. 223 on the move here. Engineers setting out there. Consuming force getting some minor losses in there. Puma rushing straight at the shock troopers. Storm Penia push back. Puma pursuing the T-70 needs to move forwards. In the centre, we got a strong point here from Expansion Runner. Chiefs and Cards continue to struggle here. We got the Sis-3 field on the way. That's going to be necessary. Puma then moving about. Bit of a mind game here. Like, you know, Chiefs and Cats are trying to, like, you know, avoid the Puma. And, of course, the Puma's trying to take out the T-70. Armored kind game for the shock troopers. Getting some damage in with their submachine guns. Closing in by 21. Sis gun almost done there for Chiefs, Tonkatsu and the Red Army. The 5th Mechanized Corps. Constantly engaged by the Puma. A catapult in the center. MG-34 there for Expansion Runner to help deal with the Sword Infantry. And particularly imagine the shock troopers are a bit ranging high down Expansion Runner's priority list. And again, they are incredibly good versus other infantry squad, in particular in one-in-one engagements. They can easily eat them up, particularly with some veterancy. Come from the same Coh2 with MU-34. In fact, that means it's going to be 2 machine guns here for Expansion Runner. Definitely adding some pressure there to Cheese and Cuts' infantry, make it hard for them to use it freely. So you can see the Expansion Runner is definitely looking to like lock down the map here. Versus Cheese and Cut. There you go. Field gun around on the scene. Cheese from the other side could take out the Puma now. There's a strong chance of it here. T-70 shoots and misses. This is great luck there for Expansion Runner. But there we go. Almost got the Puma. And if Expansion Runner can, Cheese and Cut can get the Puma out of commission, it's going to be great for him. But no. Narrowly avoids it. Close call though. So far, Expansion Runner continue to have a strong position here. He's also got an increasingly big victory point lead here with Cheese Tonkatsu, who may want to like swing him through the south here, like trying to catch Expansion Runner off guard here. Run just all these constant attacks across the same line. We could see there steadily Expansion Runner's bringing more and more equipment to fortify that. Or is he actually? In fact, he seems to be. Yeah, he's more fortifying the center and the south here. So basically, an extent the line to constantly attack north, or hoping perhaps he's going to like eventually decide to attack southwards. It is interesting there. Shriap Hunt quarters, and we get air to concept for Cheese and Cuts. It could combine that course with a from other Russia for a piercing assault here, if utilized of course correctly. Maximum on the way here for Cheese and Cuts. Honestly, would probably consider a mortar here to bombard the position of Expansion Runner, but Maximum obviously also have versus the infantry. Can't go for the fuel point there, so. Attacking from the north here. Shocks was pushing through the smoke here soon. Machine gun repositioned. Got a grenade off there. 223 moving in. T-Sim rushing through the smoke. The Shocks moving as well. There we go. Molotov off here. And suddenly the assault here goes off here. In part thanks to the shock troopers and their RDD-1 smoke grenade. Thumbs up there. Plus overall, crucially, not blocking up the attack. They're actually attacking from several like, you know, lines. Oh! Almost got the MU-34 as well here, so overall a fairly well executed attack. He Expansion Runner, what, to the degree expecting it, clearly was not quite prepared for that. That's it, Cheese and Cutter is far from out of the woods. In fact, we got the Germans taking head here. So what will Cheese and Cutter do next? That is the big question. Shock moving forwards here. Maximum repositioning, almost got the center victory point. We got 490 versus 254. No repair pioneers there as of yet. Nice flank here by Expansion Runner. Could hit the maximum there from an angle he's not ready to defend for. We got constant wing to deal with that. Field gun moving forward here. Needs to be kept to no extent. Puma in with support here through the southern part here of the center. I don't know what you'd call that. Compartment, compound. Wiggle waggle. Anyways, mines down here again. Good spot there to mine for Tonkatsu. Thumbs up. Moving forward again near the Fulters, jumping on me up. Puma shoots, misses. Maxim setting up here. Catching the Fulters out in the open. Up north here. Fulters grabbing the point there. At least have secured it, in fact. This is where it'd be great if the shock was actually really like to sneak up behind him and hit. Expense running on the flank could actually do some serious damage there. Another maxing here for Tonkatsu. So, a lot of machine guns on both sides. Got the feeling here bombarding the MG-34. Close one there, but not quite. Got the 223 Knight Veteran Fleet with the shock troops complement to assist here. And MG-34 wipe. That's a great situation there for Tonkatsu. Contrast the Fulters, those Contras are going to have to fold here and retreat since expense runner simply has too much firepower. And crucially, the Contra also too low on health. Not going to grab the MG-34, just going to destroy it as it is beyond his reach, it looks like. Or at least he's decided it is beyond his reach. Almost got the Sturmpunie here. That's what gets the wipe. This is slowly improving here for Tonkatsu. Expansion, of course, need to put this down soon. And there you go. Machine gun destroyed. All one being cleared out. But we got the Puma and the 223 Marine backing up. The Fulters going to see it. The assault going through T7 in the southern flank. In fact, I entirely forgotten about it. But there you go. Puma strikes forward with heat shells. He wants that T70 dead. Shocks was about to get wiped out. Oh, need to treat them. And he didn't. This is great for expense runner. That was a very expensive infantry unit there for Tonkatsu. Meanwhile, got Orbital in here for expense runner. The situation for Tonkatsu is starting to look a bit sharp there. And not the good kind of sharp. Mechanized armor company there. Orbital scored almost there for expense runner. Getting some 7-man upgrades done there. Will need to replace some of his infantry losses. In particular, his opponents up to 4 squads. And once those Orbital get light machine guns, it's going to be definitely particularly tough here for the Contra to really fight on with just 2 squads of them. Obviously, the Maxims will help a bit, but they can't really carry the entire load. That said, of course, Tonkatsu does have the advantage of being able to rush out that T-34 from 6 here, fast and expensive runner, get out of Panther 4. So there's obviously some chance either goals, the ultimate effect, trying to go straight for the kill. And there we go. 2-2-3 down. Again, another smaller tactical win here for Tonkatsu, but still expense runners fall, so we're still very much at an advantage. And in victory points wise, he still has a huge one, but you know, getting rid of any sort of like element there is still helpful for Tonkatsu and the Red Army. In the south, we've got the Maximus that I couldn't have for here. Pushing it back. Troops falling back here. Puma roaming forward. 7 kills, close betting 2. T70 very close betting 2 there. Bit of shooting there. Quick snap on the full guns. ME51 getting bombarded by the SIS-3. This time the Tonkatsu does not get a wipe. Follows the flanking the conscripts up close. That is definitely great there. The conscripts still went out in particular with the multiple, but there goes suppressed with MG-34. That's going to have to be a retreat there for Tonkatsu and the Red Army here. Up north, contributing 4% loss there from the Orbital Dino. Finally getting the MG-34 upgrade there. Expense runners close to the Panther 4 Model J. It does look like Tonkatsu going straight for the K1. They're expecting the Panther 4, and that's one the K1 that can challenge that one. Maximum on the south, there you go. K1 there for Tonkatsu, and we got a second Orbital squad here for Expansion Runner. Definitely committing hard here to the infantry ankle versus the Soviets. Not a bad idea. Double Orbital can be quite the challenge for certain infantry to really take on. So, like, just pushing that one hard, I think, is a very wise idea. I think that's the K1 is going to need like a Yak Panzer or a Panther to really challenge that one, though. Panther 4 and Puma with heat shells could probably take it on. Sail back up with Orbital Darden to clear out any support weapons. Landing got it on the T70. K1 is right around the corner. Right around the corner. There you go. Second Orbital Dart squad there, ready for Expansion Runner and Deutschland. First squad pinned down to the ground, and cavalry is crumbling before the very eyes. And there you go. He does go for the Panther 4. And we do have the K1 out here. The Clement Boryshilov heavy tank, named after Soviet Commissar of Armaments, Clement Boryshilov. Funny how that works. He would later lose fame, replaced by Joseph Stalin, at which point, surprisingly enough, we get the Joseph Stalin series of tanks. Sheer coincidence, I'm sure. Anyways, Molotov there focused on hitting another mine. K1 rushing forward here for Chiefs Tonkatsu. And direct hit wipes the Volkskriegsgruppe squad there with his gun. Straight off. Great kill there for Chiefs Tonkatsu. A bit of slap across the fixed range runner. Will he commit to the Panther 4? Does look like it. He does commit to the Panther 4 in the face of the K1 heavy tank. So there you go, Panzerkampfwagen 4 Ausführung J out there for Deutschland. Up north here, slowly crumbling away the northern German position. The south, the K1's breaking through the southern German positions here. Chiefs and Cutters slowly starting to pressure Expense Runner on the sides. Expense Runner's going to launch a counterattack somewhere, like somehow try and break this vice-like grip from Chiefs and Cutters. Got another engineer squad plus another field gun, still a bit short on the infantry. Truck on the way, the Expense Runner. Schwerer Wehrmacht-Schlepper. K1 moving forward. Straight into the MD-34. Teasing put back weekend in the south. Field gun there, almost done. At which point things are all getting tougher there for Expense Runners. Armour, since two field guns backing up the K1 can be quite the chance to deal with without any artillery to clear out those field guns first. Which could then force us to have considered something like the Sturmtiger, getting lucky with an artillery strike from that one, or, oh, he's going for the Battlegroup headquarters, in which case he can go for the light infantry gun. Die leichte Infanteriegeschütze. Teasdon supporting a light infantry attack here, mostly one conscript backed up by two engineer squads. South here though, I mean, right now Chiefs and Cutters is holding most of the valuable points here. Expense Runner's barely holding anything now. K1 on the move here. Striking here right outside of Expense Runner's base. Up north here. I mean, you can just see he's trying to expand his territory, but just at the same time remains so much in the defensive here as Chiefs and Cutters just keeps ceaselessly pushing, and Expense Runner just like something like deliver a significant blow here to the Red Army. Obviously it's a fun little quirk about so heavy armor, but they would actually have on the heavy tanks machine guns at the rear of the turret to deal with any troops trying to sneak up on it. Even the IS-2 tank had that. The only other tanks I believe to like consistently have this were actually Japanese tanks. So, little fun side note there. Actually, don't think the IS-2 had that, but you know, a lot of Soviet armor to a certain extent did. Anyways, little fun fact there. K1 is clashing out here. Panther 4 blasting away there. Could pop the heat shells here. I think that could actually give a good surprise there against the K1 against Chiefs and Cutters, but it's not pop it here. Still may not need it, but I think at this point the opportunity's gone. And again, I feel like if he popped it, he could have taken out them too with assistance from the Puma. So, missed opportunity in my opinion. Missed opportunity. North, the opposite was the conscripts, moving forward under Chiefs and Cutters' command. In the south, the MD-34 following up. Sandbags attempted, but decided not to finish them. And we get an H5 tank destroyer here for Chiefs and Tonkatsu. Clearly just wants to keep blasting German armor at a distance. Got the line gun for Expense Runner. Thumbs up. Bit of highly versatile artillery could do a lot of work here for Expense Runner versus the Red Army. Sandbags up here, digging around the center quite aggressively. And certainly more than what Expense Runner did when he had the area here. Again, worth noting sandbags amongst other things. Air recons here for Chiefs Tonkatsu. Once more against Expense Runner. Could activate the Schwerer Panzer quarters to shoot it down. With its third time on the flak. Line gun there arriving. The Leichte Infanteriegeschütz. Machine gun in trouble with the T7, got the field coming up as well here. Double field in fact. Shoots at the Puma, but whiffs. Panther on the move here. In the center there, small attack here by Expense Runner is easily thwarted here by Tonkatsu. Panther it from the field gun, feeling the assaulting hits return. K1 on the move here. And we get from Mother Russia here. Tonkatsu launches the men into a Celis fervor, it seems, as he orders them forwards. Panther 4 falling back, Puma heavily damaged. Expense Runner here is struggling to break out of Tonkatsu's currently very, very brutal embrace. Age 5 tanks on the main force for Tonkatsu and the Red Army. Panther 4 Puma there using self-repairs. So what's going to go for next? Jagdpanzer, Panther 4 more. Panthers? Really try for Stuka. The first Schwerpanzer comes into the fire. This is a definite problem there for Expense Runner. Loses that one's going to definitely put him in a tight spot there. Well, tighter spot. Does get a what? I mean, Jesus can't take down just one infantry squad now. The Kennedy's putting 4 tools in the south. We've got a single unit there creeping through. This lone Fulsker squad coming in there. Back to the builds on this Schwerpanzer quarters is down. Panther 4 moving forwards here. There we go. Looks like to try and turn the tables here on Tonkatsu with a counterattack here. Still no heat shields pop, that's because there's munitions now. Still doing a lot of damage to the Kenner as the Panther 4 and the Puma. Troops are suppressed here, MD Fed 4 suppressed, still getting some damage here. Cultists are about to get wiped out. Panther 4 knocked out, H5, can he get it out a good way at least? Almost got it to the firing down here, and... missed! And the Puma is narrowly destroyed, avoids destruction as well here. A wild engagement here with a frantic and frenetic counterattack here by Expense Runner. Sadly did not lead to the great result he'd hoped for, as he failed to get enough damage in there, I think, to make it worthwhile. So now the problem is, what does Expense Runner do next? He needs to fix up his Puma badly. And he needs to get some significant wipes in here on Tonkatsu soon. Does he repair ponies? He does, so he can just bring the Puma back to the base. But there you go. Consport moving in. Gonna take out the Puma. Ah, so close yet so far for Expense Runner. Got a Maxim there. Cleared out. He could perhaps grab it. Turn it against Tonkatsu. There you go. Deploying smoke. And note, of course, he's crewing it with orbital done. So that is a fairly expensive Maxim machine gun. But at the same time, he needs anything to get no matter the cost right now. I mean, he just can't afford otherwise. So yeah, 40 manpower though. That's going to be rather expensive to keep up with there. But again, the orbital sergeant supporting the machine gun, of course, will be able to pack quite a punch as well. But still, it's expensive. Typically, you'll use your cheapest infantry to crew them with support weapons. So that way, again, reinforcing it all the time is going to be less expensive. But again, not really luxury there. Expense Runner hat versus Tonkatsu. We've got 319 with 244. So what will he go for next? I mean, at this point, he does feel like he's going to try and hold out for a King Tiger here versus Tonkatsu. We've got another Kenmare for the Expense Runner, having lost one here to the Red Army. Got the Orbital Maxim pushing northwards there. Do you know, I didn't become an orbital dad to cut around an old Russian machine gun. Second kind of right around the corner for Expense Runner, and another K1 heavy tank here for Tonkatsu. Only making things tougher there for Expense Runner, that's for sure. Straight to the Kenner, good shot from the Kenner, punching straight through. Another hit there. Fulker's on the move here. Tiffany's definitely not bad there on the Kenner effort. Panther off here. Small chance taking out the K1 here, small but not insignificant. It does require a bit of luck. They're consistently going off, but again, it's not impossible. There we go. On the sky, if he can get rid of this Kenner before it becomes joined in by the other one, there's definitely a chance Expense Runner could turn the game around once more. And there we go. Does get the veteran K1 there. Excellent here for Expense Runner. bit pain for the Chiefs and Counter, highlighting he might being a bit overconfident against the Spencer runner, feeling like he maybe already had one. And it's always something you always need to be careful with against, in particular, the Orbital Commander Vest in the late game, since they do have, you know, some fairly powerful units that can aggressively swing the game around if you give them the opportunity. But second, K1 heavy tank is right. Still does look like the Spencer runner might be able to get away with the King Tiger, although he's going for more Fultons now, realizing he does need more. No, cancels it for a Sturmpionier squad, which honestly also makes sense. In fact, he might be going for just consider, amongst other things, Minesweepers and, of course, a Panzerschreck. Got center victory point here. Oh, the Olsen squad almost wiped out. That was really... Oh, and you do get wiped, and the light machine is dropped too. Painful. But great for Chiefs and Katsu. We got the K1 that almost half health hit from the Kidnapper. There we go. Less than that now. Planhunt got it off. The only bit of fortune here for Expense Runner is that Chiefs and Katsu can't pick it up with his conscripts. He needs to use his engineers to pick it up. So that is a small consolation of any. Match continues at a punishing pace here. Got the other Orbital squad moving forward here, flanking the troops here. Pushing back those conscripts. Seizing Northern Nations here with the Orba Maxim. Oh boy, we do get the B4 house here though for Chiefs and Katsu. Stalin's sledgehammer is about to be brought to the table and then destroy the table in the process. Another Fulton squad here for Chiefs and Expense Runner there. And he's sort of in the dilemma again. Like, can he save up manpower for the King Tiger, but at the same time he doesn't have troops and other stuff. The field he just speeds up more as well. So it's a bit of a tricky balancing here for Expense Runner. But it overall does feel like he's going to try and stall here for the Königstiger, the Tiger 2. We got air reconnaissance. Of course, he's going to look for targets for his B4 howitzer to basically remove from the face of the map if it hits. Those Orbital squad need to retreat here. I feel like the line... Oh, he's gonna... Oh! Tree shattered, squirrels annihilated. Light infantry crew there utterly just obliterated alongside the squirrels. That's it. Both fuel control effects Expense Runner. He's very close to having the fuel for the King Tiger, but the manpower remains a pressing issue here for Expense Runner and Deutschland. He's trying the line for gun here. Okay, on the move, B4 slowly howitzer, slowly reloading. Volksgun's pushing forward to the Sturmgeist. Yeah, going to pop an incendiary grenade there. We got 3 and 6, 210. I mean, Expense Runner's managed a decent comeback here versus Chiefs and Katsu, though. Again, it's come at a fairly high price, and it's going to become tougher with that B4 bout, and he's clearly at this point stalling for the Königstiger. A fairly ambitious endeavour here, but I suppose it could work out with someone as talented as Expense Runner, though I still probably wouldn't recommend it. Machine gun crew wiped out there. Got the conscript there. Oh, what was in there? Got a wipe in the conscript there technically. Geballte Ladung here as well on the MD or the Maxim, and pop goes the Weasel, destroying the Maxim as well the entire. That ended up being quite expensive there for Chiefs and Katsu. Quite expensive. Southern victory point there open here could be seized by Expense Runner's forces, though again he is rather stretched over here by Chiefs and Katsu at the moment. B4 is almost ready to fire again here. Obson flanking the other Maxim. We got 22 kills there. At the current state of affairs, he's roughly a minute and a half away from the King Tiger. Double cabinet on the King. V1, B4 is, I think, ready about to soon fire here against Expense Runner. All of a sudden, they need to be careful about to get murdered here by the KV1. Those K1s have been quite good at landing some crucial hits in the Expense Runner's infantry. Another hit, they need to get the Sturm Punch. I mean, you definitely need to be careful, like, bunching up too much against the B4. Oh dear. Also need to be careful about retreating en masse into his own base. Okay, in this case, just shoots there. Small bit of luck there for Expansion Runner. He is again close. Will he basically just, like, you know, not reinforce any troops, or will he further delay his King Tiger a bit there? Those are the tough questions here. Looks like he is going to not reinforce his troops. He will not delay the King Tiger any further. He needs his out schnell, or Deutschland is doomed. And 35-minute mark. Königstiger has arrived. The Tiger 2, adding the Panzerkommandant as well. With the production series turret there. There's some talk about Porsche and Henschel turrets, but the reality is there's Porsche and Henschel had nothing to do with them, and Porsche, in fact, at this point was really not in the running for producing any German tanks. Being forced with the King Tiger. High velocity 88mm gun could pretty much penetrate all Allied tanks with contemptuous ease. Vega Panzerkommando of Sunshine straight to the field guns here. Several penetrating hits from the Cis guns, so in the actual war would have absolutely no chance of penetrating the King Tiger's armor though. None. As the struggle, like with even the Panthers and Tiger 1's front line, even close ranges, so the King Tiger was, I imagine, very much beyond anything, even their wildest dreams. Still, even with the King Tiger, though, the double fields are just proving to cause me a huge issue here. K1 moving forward as well, then just Expansion Runner finds himself in a tight spot. He probably shouldn't have driven it straight down the line. He should have gone for, like, actually attempting a flank hit, catching Expansion Runner off guard with the King Tiger, making it harder then for Tonkatsu to then fight the K1, the King Tiger with the field guns. There you go, straight into the base here. Königstiger narrowly avoids getting completely turned into scrap metal there by the B4. Medics, though, and like Kevin crew are not having as easy a time of it. In the far south here, we've got the Sturmpionier. Probably should retreat them to help fix up the Königstiger. Using self-repairs. Well, he's doing everything he can just to speed up repairs and get back into the fight as soon as possible. That is definitely how you want to do it. In a unit like this, you definitely do not want to, like, spend minutes repairing this. That just needs to be, like, done yesterday. Pushing through the center here, taking advantage of the K1 being based in the south to attack in the center. I think there's a really good deduction here by Expansion Runner. 237 to 201. B4 is almost ready to fire again. Actually, no, it's not. Does some time to go. King Tiger, though, is almost ready to join the fight once more. And I think that should be it there, roughly. Heading northwards, heading centrewards. Königstiger once more good to go here for Expansion Runner and Deutschland. Kevin lands out in the Kiwi-1. Hauling forwards there.
We have 200 points remaining.
Comes to the fire from the Königstiger, shoots, misses. And for Mother Russia again here. King Tiger didn't end up hitting the rider. It's still at 3 kills. So it's slowly approaching the halfway point to Veterans U1. But again, the double field plus station fires make it very difficult to, like, easily uses King Tiger against Expansion Runner, which again is why he, like, has to rely on, I think, more surprise than, just strength here versus Expansion Runner. There you go. B4 shoots around the area of the King Tiger's expected path here. And there you go. More shots. The King Tiger down to half health here. I think he should have probably, like, just, leveraged it from the angle where Tonkatsu would be less prepared for it, rather than just, straight down the middle. I suspect that would give him the best opportunity to make use of the King Tiger before, like, draws the attention of every enemy gun. This is also where it would have been great if he hadn't lost the light infantry guns, and again, that provided him with crucial smoke cover for the King Tiger, again, allowing him to get a bit more leverage out of it than he currently is, which is not a lot. K1 heavy tank there digging in, going hull down here. Issue fire being fixed up, and air reconnaissance again. Tonkatsu make sure to keep a close eye here to the maneuvers of Expansion Runner. Thumbs up to that. 10 kills on the B4. Waiting for the logistics guys to hold the shells to the gun again. South here we got the Sturmpioneers, the conscripts. All of a sudden they're heading south as well. King Tiger North, it looks like going to not drive it straight through the center again. I think that is a very wise decision here for Expense Runner. Very wise. Shot fire there, but again in this case still ends up being quickly focused down with the issue to fire the field guns. There goes shot bouncing though. Bit of luck here. Should have takes 18. King Tiger pushing ahead here. More bounces. This is pretty lucky for it. Another bounce. Wow, calling it on the field gun here. He's on the warpath for the King Tiger, but there you go. The luck ceases. The shots start going through here. And there you go. Field and crew utterly annihilated here. King Tiger, though, is about to go down here. There we go. Königstiger kaputt. And that, I think, Expense Run is out of the war. He's got 2 Raketenwerfers, 3 infantry squads, and that's it. While his opponent has B4s, K1s, mix of infantry and machine guns. They could definitely do with more infantry. Well, that's about it. So yeah, I think at this stage he is very much out here. Yeah, I think he's as well there. And I think he's basically just dropped out, so we're just waiting for the game to realize he's not there. As happens. And Cheese and Cat Score's just waiting for that to happen as well. But I'll wait. GG. Game over. Loss here for Expense Runner. And nice to see something besides. In fact, he actually went every abilities. He actually went for full doctrinal bingo on counterattack. Small round of applause there too. Cheese and Tonkatsu. So there you go. Hope you enjoyed this match. I learned something from it. Hope it gives you some ideas for your own matches, showing you can also play the other stuff than got most of the Soviets. But also, you know, Expense Runner had some nice ideas, but in terms of engagements, there were some issues there. The Schwer Punch was a bit too exposed, and the King Tiger probably could handle a bit better. But I think also the crucial was just a lack of artillery to like cover it up here and support it during the attacks. So there you go. Hope you enjoyed this match. I learned something from it. If you did, subscribe, like, share, comment on it, tell a friend, tell a family. But don't tell me. Of course, do consider donating or pledging on Patreon. Links are in the video description. This is Imperial 19. Cheers, and see you all tomorrow for another episode. Bye.